On November 8, 1941, from Barracks 1313 of Camp Callan, California, Fred writes to a woman named Evelyn, with whom he has quite a familiar relationship. Although they are not dating, his sarcasm and playful tone tells us that he is very interested. He says, "Ha ha, I'm not really as hard up as I have been pretending." His previous letters to her must have been a little too forward. Perhaps he got some uncomfortable vibes in her last letter and didn't want to scare her off. He tries to evoke sympathy as well as admiration in her when he describes his constant struggles and dangerous tasks during his training at Camp Callan, saying, "They don't do anything in the Army that will kill you, but some things come pretty close." Overall, his tone and opening sarcasm show he might be a little conceited, or potentially feels confused and rejected. He simply wants Evelyn to be impressed and maybe even show some mutual feelings in her next response. After interviewing Evelyn Birkby over the phone, we came to the conclusion that Fred's flirtatious letter was most likely successful, or so he thought. Evelyn explained her empathy with the soldiers. They were so far from home, they were scared and lonely, they just needed someone to talk to. Being the understanding woman that she was and is today, Evelyn probably was subtle in reciprocating this affection, but she reciprocated nonetheless for the sake of the soldiers' feelings. The barracks from Camp Callan were constructed and ready by January 1st of 1941, the same year that Fred wrote his letter. He was probably in one of the earlier groups to go through this 13-week training process. In fact, he was in training only one short month before the attack at Pearl Harbor, followed by the U.S. officially entering World War II. He ends with, "After the first 13 weeks are over, we will be over the worst of it." Little did he know, the worst had yet to come. This letter shows us the interesting personalities and tactics the men at war used to get girls while they were away. Being that they were in a 13-week training camp with all men, they probably missed having a woman's affection. It also shows that many men used their soldier status to impress the ladies. We can learn from Fred's letter that even war training was a very dangerous task. Sometimes people didn't make it through. However, we can still admire his persistence in his letters to Evelyn.